All right, so we're going to work on that square of a binomial pattern again, just with a few more examples in this part 2 video. How can you use the square of a binomial to find the product of 29 squared? So 29 squared, we could rewrite that that's the same thing as 30 minus 1 squared. 30 minus 1 is the same thing as 29, and when we follow our squaring a binomial pattern, I can square 30 and I can square 1 pretty quickly in my head without using a calculator. So here is a square of a binomial of two terms. So to simplify this, you square the first term plus 2 times the product of the two terms, so 30 times negative 1, plus the last term squared. Now 30 squared, 30 times 30, you're going to multiply your 3's. 3 times 3 is 9. And then add on the zeros. The 0 from one 30 and the 0 from the second 30. All right, next we have 30 times negative 1, which is negative 30, times 2 is minus 60. And then negative 1 squared is plus 1. And then if we add those together, 900 minus 60 is 840, plus 1, we get 841. All right, let's find another product, 3x minus 4 squared. So we're squaring a binomial. When you square a binomial, square the first term. Notice my use of parentheses. That's going to serve you well if you use parentheses on these. Plus 2 times the first term times the last term, which is a negative 4, plus the last term squared. 3x squared is 3x times 3x, so we have a 9x squared. 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x, times 2 is a negative 24x, and then a negative 4 squared is a positive 16. And these get faster, you guys, the more you do them. All right, 71 squared, let's write that as the square of a binomial. That's the same thing as 70 plus 1 squared. So now we are squaring a binomial, so we square the first term, plus 2 times the product of the terms, plus the last term squared. All right, 70 times 70, 7 times 7 is 49, add on the 2 zeros. 70 times 1 is 70, times 2 is 140, so plus 140, and then a 1 squared is a positive 1, and we end up with 5,041.